everyone, welcome to Love to Create by Tanya. If you're new to my channel, thank you for stopping by. And if you're returning to see what's new, well, let's go ahead and get started with DIY number 1. In DIY number 1, I'm going to be creating a stone wall garden wall art piece. This design turned out so beautiful, I think you're going to love it. Now for this design, I'm going to be using one of these wood panels that I got in a pack from Lowe's Hardware, some of these paper hearts and clothespins, some of these little eye hooks, some of the tumbler blocks from Dollar Tree. You'll need some kind of foam block, rope twine, and greenery of your choice. And then I picked up these letters from Hobby Lobby. Now the picture frame is actually the item that I had purchased at our local thrift store. Now here is my main part of this design, and I absolutely love this. This is some wallpaper that I ordered from Amazon, and I'll leave a link in the description below for this. But it's a beautiful stone wall, and I think I'm going to be using this one in a few of my designs for the summer season anyway. Now I'm just going to go ahead and cut this down to fit across the picture frame. And I'm going to do it actually vertical. And first I'm going to take that plaster chalk paint and I'm just going to go over this with just one coat because I want to sand some of this off so some of that grayish tone comes through so I can get that aged look on the frame. And now I'm just going to take my sanding block and then I take a sharp little tool on some areas and just scuff it up. Now I am going to use that Waverly Antique Wax to age this board a little bit, and I end up taking some of that elephant gray and going over top of this because I was trying to get that similar color tone as the picture frame before I put the plaster white chalk paint on here. And then I do the same thing, I just scratched it and aged it. Now I'm going to go ahead and apply my wallpaper to my cardboard backing here. And it was a little bit tricky. Be very careful and apply it slowly. But if it does tear in a little place, it pieces together really well. Now I'm going to make sure everything's pressed down and then just trim off the excess on this. But you can tell already it's just a really cool design. Now I'm just going to take those little tumbler blocks and I don't even stain or paint these because they're going to be hid under that board panel that I painted. And I thought I was going to need 2 layers, but I ended up only using 1 layer on there and made a very thin little pocket. Now I'm just kind of placing everything around and seeing, where I want it. And this would be just as pretty turned horizontally too. But for where I'm going to display this in my home, it was kind of a small wall, so I decided to go vertical on this design. Now I'm just going to hot glue these down, and I did use that Gorilla hot glue. Now I decided to put the word home a little higher to the top because I wanted to leave plenty of room to display my greenery in that little pocket. And this is such a cool design. You will be able to use this all year long and just display different types of greenery for the fall and the Christmas season. You'll have to let me know what you think of this design in the comments below. Now I'm just going to take those thin little slices of the foam and tuck down in there, and that give me just a little something for the stem of the greenery or flowers to poke down into so they don't move around. Now I ended up taking one of those little cubes and putting in the corner there just to give it a little more support. Now I decided to take some of this greenery that I purchased at Walmart. And I'll leave all of the items that I used for the DIY in the description below. Now I decided to take some of those little eye hooks and I'm just going to put one on each side of that little wood panel because I want to be able to take some rope twine and just string it across there to put some little clothespins on. And you'll see where I put the little hearts on here. But this would be so cute. You could take even some of those little battery operated lights and string across there for the holiday season. And that pocket, I measured it, it's just wide enough that you could slide the little battery part of the lights in that little pocket. But you could also do 2 layers of the tumbler blocks if you needed to have more room. But this was a really fun and simple design, and I loved making it, and I hope that it inspires you to create something like this. Now I decided to add a couple more words at the bottom there, and I took some of these white letters that I purchased from Hobby Lobby, and I'm just going to put Sweet Home, so our whole saying will be Home Sweet Home. And I thought that just a sweet saying, and I thought that way you could use it, like I said, all throughout the year. And I'm just going to add a little bit more greenery down into the pocket. And like I said, I'm just popping what greenery I had in my craft box in here, just to give you an idea of what you can do with this. But I am definitely excited to put some fall leaves in here, and then maybe some pine in here with some little berries. I just think it's going to be a really neat piece because I have mine hanging in my living room. Now here's some of those hearts that I had from Valentine's Day, and I thought it'd be fun just to layer some of these, and then I'm going to take some of those little rub-on letters and words and just do some fun little family sayings on here for the spring and summer season. But I think this design has so many options of different ways that you can create a different type of look, and you'll have to tell me some of the ideas that you may have for this design. Well, everyone, I hope you've enjoyed DIY number 1, and here it is all finished up. And you'll have to let me know, like I said, what you think of this one, and if you're going to give this one a try. Now for DIY number 2, we're going to be creating this Hello Summer Trellis wall art piece. And this design I actually used on my side porch, and I just love how it looks. Now I'm going to be taking this metal ring with the curly designs that I found at our thrift store, and I'm just going to measure out a piece of wood to go right down there about 1/3 of the way down. And the reason why I'm going to put this there is I'm going to use that to make a tiny little trellis down there at the bottom. And then I found some scrapbooking paper at, I think it was Michael's actually. And I just wanted to pull in the colors of summer with the flowers and the yellow and the greenery. And it just turned out great. And it was such a simple design. I used this foam board to apply the paper to, and then I just glued that to the back of this little metal circle, and it made the cutest decoration. Now you can see I'm just taking that scrapbooking paper and cutting it out in the shape of the circle, and I did just use a glue stick to glue the paper on, and it held just fine. And I really like doing that kind of two-tone there where you got the flowers, and then I found that little diamond shape design and put that at the bottom because I thought that would be a really neat undertone color when I put the little trellis sticks over top of it. Now before I glue my circle onto the metal ring, I'm going to take some of that really thick nautical rope and glue around the edges. You'll see me do that here in a minute, and that really helped it hold to the metal a lot easier. But I'm going to use that Waverly Antique Wax and just stain the wood piece dark, and I do that same color on the little trellis down at the bottom because I like the contrast with the light color tones in the flowers and the green. But everyone, I thought this was another really fun design. You'll have to let me know what you think of this one in the comments below, and let me know which one was your favorite, if you had a favorite, or let me know if you enjoyed both of these DIYs today. And I just used the little craft sticks from Dollar Tree, and they worked really well just to fit in that small space. And I really wasn't too particular about getting these really straight into the corner. I just wanted it to have that look of the little trellis down there at the bottom. And once I get these stained and let them dry, I'm just going to glue them on with that Gorilla Hot Glue again. Now I found this hello sign in that bright yellow. I think it was from Dollar General. I'll leave all that once again in the description below. Now I had a little bit of this leftover greenery, and I decided just to pop a little bit of this in right there around the trellis, and then just a little bit more of it around the letters of hello. And I wanted to leave a little bit of room down there at the bottom on the trellis, because I'm going to take some of the wood letters that I actually purchased from Michael's, and you can get a large box of those for like $10, and I've been using them for all kinds of different DIYs. But I'm just going to spell out the word summer to go down at the bottom, and then I've got a really cute little wall art piece to put on my porch that says hello summer. Now I did decide at the end that I would go back and add just a little bit more different colors, and that's your personal preference whether you want to do that or not, but I went over the lettering with a little bit of that plaster white and did that little bit of light green you can see in behind there. And I liked it the other way, but I also like it this way, and I was really just playing with this design and trying to give it a little bit more of that aged look. But now I do take that metallic silver paint, and I just took a sponge and just kind of dabbed that on the little spirals just to brighten it up a little bit, because my house is actually a darker brown cedar sided color, and I thought that would kind of help it stand out a little bit better where I was going to hang it up and display it. Now I'm going to take those wood letters spelling out summer and finish this design, and I decided to paint those in the plaster white, and I'm just going to glue them on once again with my Gorilla Hot Glue. Well everyone, I love how this design turned out, and it looks really pretty on my porch, and you'll have to let me know what you think of DIY number 2 in the comments below. Well everyone, I hope you enjoyed today's DIYs. If so, I hope you can give this video a thumbs up. That really does help YouTube notice my channel a bit more. And I would love for you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. And if you are a subscriber, I thank you so much for your support. And I'll see you the next time.